What's going on, guys? This is Sportsman44 here, and today we're just going to do some post commentary. Talk some shop, see what I've been doing, especially at the plate. Um, just things of that nature. Just a chill video at the moment. Anyway, I'm playing a BR game, and I'm the home team. And my opponent, who's 55-19, by the way, and a World Series player. He's got a pretty good lineup. He's got Reggie, he's got Correa. Live series. He's got Edwin. Edwin's a freaking monster, especially in BR. So I wasn't gonna take it lightly very much, and so I've been changing my approach a little bit, but we'll get to that in a minute. I just want to talk about the content real quick. I think the content for tomorrow, it's going to be a Father's Day program where you get 87 Biggio, Calvin Biggio, and a prime Ken Griffey senior. And I thought they were going to do something, where it was going to be like, I knew they weren't going to do another Biggio card because, that's already excessive. But my hope was they were going to do something like with Vlad and Vlad Jr., Vlad Sr. and Vlad Jr., and then maybe something with the Griffies. But who knows? But it is confirmed. It is Ken Griffey Sr. and 87 Calvin Biggio, which isn't bad. I remember Calvin Biggio being pretty good in 19. Well, with that card, anyway. So, he's down 0-2. So I decided to throw a cutter, and that was a big mistake. Well, not really, because he did swing at a ball. And I was kind of, a little shocked and in awe. I mean, who gives up a homer? That's a ball. So, I'm not going to get too upset about that, and it's not something I should get too upset, especially early on in a BR game, because you don't want to get upset or a little ticked off, because you tend to lose focus. But I'm gonna get to the gameplay. I've been actually pitching without the game freaks for a while, or the game freaks. Just because I needed something, I needed a little bit of a change up. Early, I wanted to test this out in a BR game, and other than that Schwarber home run, I think I pitched pretty good. Although I did give up a hanger with Edwin, and I have to give props to my opponent, because this is a World Series player. You're not gonna see like a hanging curveball every day and just let it go down in the zone. But I'm doing well. Nothing's really changing, and as you can see, my PCI did change. I used to have the wedge without the without the circles or the diamonds, etc. in the middle. Now I have just the basic at 80% Scion. Just something different. I needed something where it was kind of universal for me to to see in at night games and in day games like this one. This is at 1 p.m. I think, set on August or July. I tend to like that more because, as you're about to see, the ball tends to fly a little more, in my opinion, in July. And, right on cue, it's Dinger City for Live Series Mondesi. But anyway, we'll get back to, talking shop. Just talk about how the patches, I have not personally played the patch yet. I'm gonna probably just see what's up with it. from what I've heard so far, I think people have liked it. I have to see how fielding is, because you know, the fielding is still a little suspect in my opinion. Because especially those balls, when you get to the wall, they're not gonna lock on. Not like last year, because last year you could catch the ball at the wall with anybody, even if they had common fielding. And so I have to see how fielding is. I think the hitting aspect is gonna be good too. I just need to see it for myself, like I said. And I'll probably give another post commentary, see how I like the patch. By the way, this is my first post commentary video, so I go into the bullpen. So I'm just I take a look at Gesellman, even though it's. So I put in Baez and Leclerc to warm up, and he's got Taylor Rogers, as you can see there. So I want to try and get as many at bats with my righties as I can, even though he does have I can't see who he has pitching. He has Justice Sheffield, so that is the former Yankees prospect. But we'll talk about this Ducks on a Pond now. So the Ducks on a Pond, in my opinion, I don't know why people are complaining about a 99 Joe Adell. I can understand on one hand, but at the same time though, like, I don't think it's fair to judge a card already when it's basically just an upgrade to the current version, which I don't understand how people are mad about a 99 Joe Adell when we could see players like Wander Franco 99 soon, or Mackenzie Gore 96. People we've seen before in the prospects, for the prospect players. We could see Adley Rutschman. You never know. So I don't understand why people are complaining about that so much, and kind of disappointing. But other than that, I love the Joe Adell card myself. You can hate all you want, just like he can hate on me going Dinger City right there, and I'm up by one, and I've been hitting pretty good recently, even though I have been switching it up, because I had the excuse me, I did have wedge. I did have the wedge, like I said, but I changed it to just the basic one. Kind of see a different perspective, if you will. So, I wasn't too overly disappointed. I was late on that fastball. Don't know how, especially with a common pitcher. So, I don't know who else is going to be in the Ducks on a Pond. I believe it's 4 players in the rare round now. So I think it's a 1 in 14 chance you get the rare round. It's a 1 in 8 or 1 in 10 chance to get the middle round, which was then the rare round. It was McCutcheon, Greinke, all those guys, and then the basic is just you get Rodney or El Duque, players. Dave Kingman was one. I just have to see. We just have to see. I know Scruffy McGee's going to reveal one tonight at 8 p.m. on his Twitch. From what I saw in the Twitter, it was the Reds mascot and the Mets mascot together in one picture. So there's a lot of players. It could be Todd Frazier. It could be Tom Seaver. I did Tom Seaver myself. Only because I think he's gonna be like the top guy. 99 Tom Seaver, from a pack that's 35K. So if you get him, you're gonna get 100K day one, when that pack comes out on Friday.
Outside that time, laid off for a ball.
Yeah, it looks like to me he hasn't quite found that release.
So,
far,
you know, we'll just have to wait and see. And I wasn't waiting and seeing when I grounded out, so I just got very anxious. But overall, I hit pretty well in that inning. Anyway, it could be Todd Frazier. Back to Ducks on a Pond. It could be Todd Frazier. It could be Jay Bruce. You never know. Personally, other than Tom Seaver, I think Jay Bruce would probably be a good card to have. Just because he was so good in his prime, I would see them doing a prime Jay Bruce myself. Just because you know, everyone uses him in BR, you know, in events, you know, if you're doing like a budget sort of squad, you know, that kind of thing. And I think it would be a welcome addition to see someone like Jay Bruce get a diamond, because it's really nice. And you know, that's the second pitch I drew. You know, same with the Schwarber home run that he hit out. That's like at his eyeballs, legit at his eyeballs. I just can't believe it. You know, anyway, he ties the game. You just got to move on, see what you can do. And I hang a slider, you know, probably juicier than a cheeseburger, right down the pipe. And I'm glad he didn't go to third, because that would have been even worse. But I don't know. I believe it's going to be 3 or 4 players, so, you know, I just have to. I would love to see a Harper in the new rare round myself, or possibly someone else. I don't know who they have in store for the 3rd or 4th players. It could be Tom Seaver tonight, but you know, again, I just don't know yet. Honestly, I just don't. We just have to wait and see. So we're gonna go. I think it's gonna be a pretty good time right now, and you know, at least for my opponent, because he's just crushing the ball. You know, as he should. You know, I can't get too mad, and I am down by 2, so it's not gonna be a truly big deal. But it is a big deal, because after David Dahl decides to ding it out, you know, Reggie comes up, and I'm like, I'm going to bring in Claudio. And Claudio's kind of deceptive if you know how to use him. I just missed a sinker with him. And it's going to just be, and he fouls that one off, so it's 1-1. And I throw a slider, and he just crushes it. You know, and you know, I am still getting adjusted to just pitching without the control freak. So, you know, I'm not going to get too mad at myself, but I'm down by 3, so I got to clutch up. And, you know, thank God that Correa popped that one up to Robles. So, you know, and then Schwarber comes up. So I'm kind of, you know, scared already to face Schwarber, because especially after that first at bat, and you know, rightfully so, because first pitch, I don't know how he pulled that sinker in, but you know, he hits it for a home run. And you know, I believe one out of the 4 or 5 homers he's hit this game were balls. You know, which is astonishing, because that never happens. Not to say it doesn't happen in regular baseball, but I haven't seen that happen, you know, in this game or in real life in a while. So, you know, and then he gets a single with Edwin. You know, I throw it in quickly with Zobrist. I do have Zobrist in left field, just because I needed Mondesi to be in the lineup, just because he's so glitchy, whether it's his Diamond or his Live Series. So I bring in Leclerc, hopefully wanting to get an out, and I do, and Machado throws it to Mondesi for the final out of that inning, and I'm down by 4. So I gotta clutch up right here. But yeah, you know, he brings in Shane Greena. You know, personally, I think the content is really good this year. I feel like, especially with the rest of the community, I feel like if they kept hitting from day one, if they improved pitching and kept fielding from 19 with the addition of the diving catch thing, I think it would have been probably one of the top MLB shows of all time. Also, I will have to comment, I do not like the diving catch feature, only because a lot of people don't do diving catches anyway. I think that's something they should do more so for, like regular gameplay, just playing against the CPU or Road to the Show, things of that nature. But not something I would see in Diamond Dynasty, because no one ever dives. And if they do it, it tends to be pretty risky, because you're either gonna catch it or you're gonna just let it go by you. I feel like if they just kept the fielding from 19, especially later on in 19, I think it would have been an awesome MLB to show if they kept hitting from day one as well. And I think this is as close to hitting to day one as it's going to get. I think that's the one big mistake they did make, obviously, so we'll just have to see. I'm not seeing the ball right now as much, and I'm just nervous, and I don't know how that's good okay, but, Mondesi is just going to get an easy double, and it's kind of disappointing because one, it could have been a triple. I could have scored one run and have a runner in scoring position, but I have two, so it's a win-win, I guess. Especially with a guy like Hunter Renfroe at the plate. So I'm being very patient. He's just gonna pause, see who he has in his bullpen. He did keep in Shane Green at this point. He threw me a slider, a big juicy slider that I should have, hit, but I'm just waiting for my pitch, and I rip one foul. So, I'm just not really getting into the zone, and fortunately I get one over, but it's already 2 outs, but I'm down by 3 at this point in time. And I have Ben Zobrist up at the plate and see if he can clutch up. He did get a single batting righty, against the lefty. Now he's going to bat lefty against the righty. So we'll just wait and see. And as you can tell, I have my PCI placement right about where the pitcher's mound starts, and I move it over where it would be high and in. Because I feel like that's the most common place you get at 2 outs, but I tend to do it in every count anyway. And he almost throws an absolute dot with the cutter in. And Ben Zobrist decides to foul a two-seamer off, and I was really just late on it. And then he clutches up and gets a double into the opposite field. So, at this point I'm down by, I'm down by 2 with 2 outs in the bottom of the second. So, in my mind I'm thinking, he's going to bring in a lefty so he could get to Rizzo. Instead he brings in Jansen, which I was honestly kind of surprised to see that myself, because Machado is better against righties with his 95 power. So, all I had to do was just wait for my pitch, and I could just get it into the to a gap, and instead of getting into the gap, it gets through the hole up the middle, just past Robinson. And then here comes Live Series Rizzo. So I hit pretty well with this card. I am trying to get the Cubs team affinity done, so I think I'm at 40 program points. So I'd be 10 away from 89 Rizzo, which I would love to use at some point. And, I think I would love him for that reason. If I love his live series, I'll definitely love his face of the franchise. He goes to Danger City and crushes it. And we are up by 1. So at this point, I go into the bullpen. I warm up Gold Mike Minor, which I did get him day one. You get him from the Royals collection, and I'm just patiently waiting, seeing what pitches I get. I am up by one, but I really do want to catch up and get more runs at this point, because who else wouldn't? In this situation, I just need to, stay as calm and collected as possible. And that's another thing, is that I just need to, like, I can't get the words out. And, I almost took a walk, but he dotted up a cutter. So I'm looking for a fastball, and I get it. It's good, okay. It's going to be in the same place where Mondesi hit it. And it's just going to scrape over the wall for a round rule double. And then Kyle Schwarber, I don't know how his Robinson didn't get to that with his gold fielding, but it's a lucky break for us, and we just need to catch up. We just need to catch up at this point. And then he throws an absolute dot with Kenley Jansen, and I'm thinking he's got to go to a lefty or a righty, and he does go to a righty. He goes to Ryan Brazier, so I'm expecting. So I'm not trying to look for any sort of breaking ball unless it's hung. I'm just looking for straight fastballs. I get one, but I just foul it off. And I was late on it too. So that's kind of disappointing. So I'm just waiting and waiting and waiting. And I get the count full. Victor Robles is at the plate, the one who started this whole thing. And I just foul off the changeup. And Brazier, and I take the walk. So I'm really excited. I just have to get Robles to to catch up and get a single up the middle or something, just so I can drive in all these runs. And he does. He gets a single that just gets past the third baseman. So I'm up 7-9 at this point. And now I have Mondesi at the plate, so I'm already excited. So I get Minor and Castillo ready and waiting at this point. Take a ball outside. Nothing too bad. And it's another ball outside. Just barely missed it with Brazier. And I should have hit that changeup, but then there's that risk. This isn't Diamond Mondesi, so it's not a hit. But this definitely is a hit. It's gonna be a double into the gap, and he's gonna, a triple into the gap. And Mondesi is gonna get clear the bases with a 3-run triple. So we're up 7-12. This is probably one of the biggest comebacks I've had. Not only in BR, but in any game in general. Because you never see a guy down by 4 score. Let's see. I can't do math in my head. I have to clutch up, and I didn't clutch up with Hunter Renfroe. But we did score. Let's see. But we scored 9 runs that inning. 9 runs in a half inning. And you have to give, and my opponent kind of gave up on it at this point. It is BR, so unless you really do clutch up, you're not gonna get a dub at this point. So he already had the writing on the wall. He's just trying to stay alive, trying to be gracious. And I throw, I believe, a changeup. Yes, a changeup down. He didn't bite. So I proceed to throw the knuckle curve down. And fortunately, it makes him ground out with Hicks, so that's 1 out. This is probably one of the best games I've had hitting-wise, pitching-wise. I'm still working on the pitching, and defensively I'm doing great, especially with that Machado, at third base. And here comes Robinson, who undoubtedly is the scapegoat, I believe, because he would have it would have been a one-run game. Instead, we just rallied on, and after that, Jackie Robinson misplay, and we gave him the fly out with Zobrist in left field, and it's a well-deserved hug, and who wouldn't hug after that kind of game? It's just probably one of the best games I've had overall. MLB The Show wise, and like I said before, we'll just have to wait and see how the patch is gonna play out. How I may do a post commentary on that. You never know. Just see what other people know about the patch, and I'll probably get to play after this post commentary is done. Anyway, yes, we did score 9 runs that half inning, and Mondesi is player of the game, so I'll see you guys.